Now we will be going for our further movement, and I may have to return back to Bombay. I do not know how comfortable you were here. But you wanted to be away from the madding crowd, and I thought this would be the nice place to be here. Though Dhumar was all the time insisting that they should stay in some Mangal Karyalaya or something. But I told him, you don't understand them. They don't enjoy much of all this cement, concrete. They would always like to be in the company of nature as long as they get some protection from the sun and the rain. And they want to enjoy that kind of a collective living. And they'll be very happy. But still, I don't think he was very much convinced about it, very hesitant. Then again he came to Bombay. I again told him, now believe me, you have to have it somewhere. Just have a pendal for them. They'll be very happy. You just don't worry about other things. They want to be with the nature because they don't get a chance like that. They cannot take bath in a lake anywhere. It's a great chance for them to take a bath. They said the water is not so clean and maybe that it is full of clay. I said clay is good for them. They like it. And I see your skin is so much better. I see your skin. You see all this, you have suffered the sunburnt, whatever you overdid in Ganpatipure is now being cleared out by this clay, because the clay is the one that suits you. Even if you can put some clay on your stomach, it will take out all the heat from your stomach. Very good for liver, this clay is. So I told them that you don't understand that this naturopathy that they can have here, they cannot have it. But he very, very reluctantly agreed, thinking that I'm really trying to be hard on you. So this is a mild sun here and is nice. And the atmosphere is very clear and clean. Plus we have got such a beautiful temple of Ekadashi Rudra here, which is such a nice place we have found out. So for a saint, see, for a saintly person, what does he need? Because he is so satisfied with everything. Whatever he gets, he is satisfied. But he would be more satisfied, he would be much more enjoying when he is with the nature. I know that. And they are not still very happy, the rowdy people, that they think that this is no way of putting up guests like this and all that. Still, I just had to tell him that you see their faces, how they look. They look so very happy, so very relaxed. Now what do you want? What do you want more? But now we must understand that one habit that we have always, we have developed it because we have been going out. Our attention has been going out. You see, the one habit that we have in the West, which I have noticed also very common, is to be a daredevil for everything and to go to the extreme. See, there's no, what do you say to the bridle? Bridle, you say, the one that is used for the horse? Bridle. The bridle is not there. There's no bridle in our behavior. We go to extremes in everything. Whatever we do, we go to extremes. There's no bridle in our hands. And this is what one has to get to the bridle. It is not that it's like a kite which is just moving here and there. It's not that. It's a complete thrust. complete movement with all willpower, with all effort to go to something that is dangerous. I personally think it's a self-destructive character which is built within us as a result of our movement too much outward. Because whatever moves in one direction has to recoil back. It has a reaction. Like the science has developed atomic bomb. Ultimately you do develop a destructive temperament. And that is why I think in the West people have no idea how to control the speed backwards. It's more the speed outward to dangerous places they like it. Nature is good. In the nature it's nice to be there. But it does not mean that you should ask the nature to hit you and kill you. Now in Ganpatipure I was so sad to see those boys who burnt themselves. It was really very, very saddening to me. And when I treated them, of course they got well. But you won't believe, the whole of my stomach here, the whole skin of my stomach was burnt, charred and burnt, and is now peeling out. Just like they had the problem. I never went to the sea, I never stayed there. So this was the heat they were carrying. Now people get, say, what you call skin troubles, skin cancers. Still they want to do it. Like the other lady who was so sick from Switzerland, is so sick, you see. I was really very worried because she was very dangerously placed. And she is the one who had this problem. And she said, I have an addiction with the sun. How can you be addicted to the sun? It's just a mental idea. I believe me, it's just a mental idea. That if you go in the sun, your skin will be alright. It's just a mental idea. Have you seen anyone like that? I mean, what is the proof? That if you go in the sun, your skin will improve. What is the proof? We Indians never go in the sun. Never. We never go in a windy place. Never in a windy place. We never go, say for example, this skiing. According to us, skiing is a stupid job. We would never do it. Any Indian who does that is a stupid fellow, according to us. Women will never do horse riding because it affects the uterus. The women don't swim after some time because it affects the uterus. And if it affects the uterus, it affects the whole system because uterus represents your kundalini. All wrong ideas we have got. That's why I see that in the West everybody is sick. They have this trouble or that trouble or this or that. Certain principles are to be born in our mind because we are saints and we are precious things. We are not like other Westerners, that we can waste our life like this for some sort of a stupid venture that we think of. Can you imagine? All Indians have much better skin than you have. Alright? Don't they? Do they ever go in the sun? Never. Then have you seen any Indian sitting outside here taking sun bath? I mean, the proof of the pudding is that despite all that, your skins are so bad. Now, how can your skin be good with the sun? Let us say. Let us take absolutely a chemical reaction. Now, what happens that when the thing falls upon our skin or upon the head, this head has got a brain, and the brain is made of fat. Alright? Now if you put the fat in the sun, what will happen? It will melt. And that's how people have melted brains. The brains are not normal. They behave in a way you just don't understand why they behave like this. So, first of all, if your brain goes out, how can your skin be all right? Because the brain controls the skin. It controls everything. If your brain goes off, I have not met one person who looks beautiful because he has been in the sun. On the contrary, you stay at home. Preserve your skin by staying at home. The second point is that a Sahajogi should not behave like other Westerners do, that at every holiday they are out. They never sit in the house. Grahastha, the one who stays in the house. We are all Grahasthas, householders. We are married people. As soon as you get a holiday, you are out. Now you might give an explanation, because you see our houses are like this, and we think that our houses are just suffocating us. Have you seen the houses of the poor people here? Have you seen the houses of the labor in Bombay? Nobody goes out for a holiday. All my life I don't think I've been ever out for a holiday with my husband. Only once we tried for 2 days and we were back from Scotland all the way. We just go for a wedding or a festival or something. If there's some collective happening. Or else you can go for a picnic, all of you together. But you must sit down in the house and talk to each other nicely. There should be some rapport. There's no rapport between the children and the parents. There's no rapport between the husband and the wife. No rapport between the in-laws, other people. No rapport at all. So you become people who are absolutely secluded, shooting off this way, that way, that way. Sit down and talk. Now see our children. Now, we talk that our children should be disciplined. The best way to discipline your child is to make the child sit down for a while and talk to the child properly. Tell the child what he's supposed to do. You will find an Indian child goes to somebody's house, just keeps quiet. But let an English child come. He will break this, he'll break that. Give me chocolates, give me this, I want this. You take an Indian child, maybe a poor child, to a market. He'll never ask for anything, demand for anything. Never. Even if you give, he'll say, no, I won't have. He has that self-respect. But if you take a child, any other child, he'll say, please buy me this, please buy me that, please buy me that. Without any self-respect, without any discipline. Now, where does the discipline come in? Now, what we do, supposing a child is there, we are going out. We tell the child, now we are going out. And you have to be a self-respecting child. Because supposing now you are talking, you can say, you are a realized soul. You are a Sahajogi. And you can't behave like a stupid fellow asking for this and that. And sit down quietly. You make them sit down. To begin with, you have to do a lot of massaging on their body. Lots of massaging, every day massage the body, so the nerves are all right. Then, when you take them out or do anything beforehand, tell them properly, build up their personality of self-respect, of discipline. But you yourself should be disciplined. Now you are sitting in the sun, say, for the whole day, and you tell your son, get inside the house, how will he? A Sahajogi should never go in the sun. Take it from me. Never go in the sun. Because this brain requires complete quietude. And no sun activity is needed. It should not even, when you sleep, there should not be even a ray of sun. Even when I sleep, I want complete darkness. Even a slightest ray of light is coming, which people know very well. I cannot sleep because I must act. So the reaction to this light is so much in me. Maybe that I am very sensitive to all the elements. But what about you? You must avoid the sun's light as much as you can when you sleep, and also should not sit in the sun for such a long time. Of course, sitting in the sun helps you because it gives you vitamin D, by which vitamin D, if you take it, you build up your bones better. But now I think your bones are quite built. There's no need to build your bones anymore. But now by God's grace, you are getting soluble calciums which you can eat, and you can also have vitamin D and A if you want to. What is the need of scorching this head? Now, if you sit in the sun, then either you will have a bald head or you will have a jungle in the head. One of the two things, depending on the personality as you are. Because your brain cannot bear it, your skin cannot bear it. After all, we are not jungle people, are we? But you ask any jungle person also, he never sits in the sun. It's only somebody has cooked it in your head that you must sit in the sun. If you go and see Eskimos who live in the ice houses, they never bathe in the sun. Have you ever seen them sunbathing? Have you ever seen them? Any picture anywhere? Then why this special type of stupidity is there among other people? Because you have lost that sense to know that you are maneuvered. You see, how to befool you. Now you must create some weaknesses for people. If you don't create a weakness, how will they prosper with their machineries? So now, let's befool them. If you go to the seashore and you tan your body, you look very beautiful. First of all, you look horrid. Horrid you look. And secondly, they will say that your health will be all right. So everybody is going to the seashore, ending up with a skin cancer. Because your body revolts against it, that's why you get skin cancer. You get liver troubles, already you are liverish. You are already thinking too much. Why do you want to have sun? You have already too much sun within yourself. So what is the reasoning for it? I just don't understand. You must know that today we have the work of the Sahasrara. And the Sahasrara is the brain. We have to work on the brain. And if you people do not know how to use your brain properly, I don't know what am I going to do. Moreover, today, talking to some Indians, I discovered something horrifying things which I must tell you. Which is horrifying as well as laughed at it. They were telling me that if you take an English hen and an Indian hen, there's a tremendous difference between the two. The hen that is Indian, if she sees another hen being attacked, she will make such a noise that all the hen will join together and will start making noises, so that if there's an attack, the master will come and try to remove the attack. But if it's an English hen, she will just watch another being eaten up, you see. And then she's eaten up also, she says, all right, eat me, doesn't matter, I'll take second birth and come back. He said, they have no brains at all. He said, they have no brains. Like, say, an English bullock. They have English bullocks also. I mean, English means Western. They don't mean anything else, but it's Australian. Maybe anything is English to us, because we had known only English, so we say English. But that's what they say, English. But it doesn't mean anything. It means any Westerner or any Australian or white-skinned person. Bullock, he said. He said, our bullocks, if you tell them, go straight, they know. If you tell them, go left, they know. If you tell them, walk this way, they know. They know everything. But if you have any, these bullocks, they don't know anything. You tell them, go further, you teach them anything, nothing. They will never learn it. You tell them, they'll go the way they want to. It's very surprising. I said, really? Yes, they said. It is so. They are for no good. They can just do what they want to do. They cannot understand what you are talking. They have no understanding about it. Imagine about the Buddhists. And then think of it in India. You see, we have everything walking on the street. We have got the bullocks and we have got the cows. We've got sometimes the hen. Everything goes on the road. They know which side the thing is coming, which side they have to move. There's a car coming. He said, put one English cow, they'll be all finished on the road. I got such a fright, when I heard it. I said, they do not do sunbathing. How do they get it? Then I was thinking that the kind of a food you give them, there must be some horrible hormones. They must be spoiling their brains. But we are very destructive. I must tell you. Drugs. Now we started taking to drugs in the name of God. I mean, Indians, you make them take drugs, they'll say, tell another. I know what it is. And then our brains go off with the drugs. Brains are not normal. Why we behave like this, I can only explain that they have taken drugs. I've seen people who have taken drugs, I just don't understand. Why? There's no logic into their behavior. Just no logic. They just like the brains of a bullock. They behave the same way. You just can't explain why they behave. They have taken drugs. Now what is drug taking? Is again self-destructive. Because you want to destroy yourself, that's why you have taken drugs. Otherwise, how many Indians you have known who take drugs? I have never even seen that. And another thing, Dhumar told me he says his reading is, he says that if a child is educated in a vernacular school, I was also educated in a vernacular school because my father was very particular, no English schools. And those who are educated in the English school, there's such a difference. He says he has his children educated in the English school and he has his children educated in vernacular school. The youngest one is in the vernacular school. He says he knows about everything. He'll know how many cows are in the house. He will look after parrots. He knows how the parrot works out, how the things are. He's the youngest. He knows about everything. But other children, they just will stand. If you tell them, they'll give an explanation. And then they'll say, so what? So what? But if you tell him something, immediately he will know what is to be done. He'll just get it done the way he wants to do it in the sense that it must be done. But here the other way now. If you tell a child from an English school, he will do the way he wants to do, and if you tell him, why did you do this, he'll say, what's wrong? Or at the most he'll say, I'm sorry, finished. I mean, like Sir Yogis will pull their ears, finished. Even if he eats you, he'll say, pull my ears, mother, I've eaten you. It's like that. It's very funny thing. I said, what's wrong with the language? Why this English language makes people like that? I can't understand. Why? I just don't understand. What's wrong? Now, this is not in the Indian language. You see, if you say, they say, what? We didn't understand what you're saying. What's wrong? I mean, just the whole, I think the language itself has the disciplining in it. It's what we call Mardav. It builds up the personality. Like if somebody tries to show off, you see, immediately we'll say, you are overwise, atishane. And the saying is, atishane chanse bail rikame. Those who try to show that they are very intelligent, their bullocks have no work, means they are lazy lumps. The whole language system as such, they're so practical, I tell you, they're so practical. And that is why we came to India first of all. We had some Sir Yogis with us when we came here. About 25 Sir Yogis from England came. And we all stayed here and all these people looked after them. and they fed them, and of course, I mean, they paid no money, nothing, they lived here. Nobody even wrote a letter of thanks. So they all got worried, and they wrote a letter to me saying that, Mother, what has happened? Are they all right, or are they sick? They have not written any letter to us. So I called them. I said, did you write any letters to them? No. I said, why? We know we did wrong. We know. You know. Then why did you not do it? No, but we know. Now what is an argument? Now you have come out of that. What I am giving is the background. You have come out of it. Now you are Sahajogis. You are saints. So you have to be very different. You can't be like them. You have to understand. Like some people have a habit of saying, Mother, I'm so badly off. You ask them, how are you? They say, like this. It's very common. So I look at their hands. What's it? I don't understand. What does that mean? Here people will feel ashamed to say. Even if you are sick, even if you are dying, if somebody will ask, how are you? They will say, I'm all right. I'm all right. Nobody will do like this. Means what? You ask them, what's your name? Did you ask my name? Of course I did, but why do you ask me again? Any question you ask, they will repeat it always. I used to wonder, why do they repeat? They didn't get it in their heads or what? Now the thing is, that is what is the background of this brain, and don't spoil it more by this sun. You have to do work of this Sahasrara. Sahasrara, which is the lotus of the divine, which has got beautiful petals now enlightened by your Kundalini. They are the living petals. Do not try to pray with it. That's why I say don't read funny books, don't see funny things, don't talk to funny people, don't waste your energy in worrying, in futuristic attitude. Keep to yourself, let this grow, because the roots are in the brain. The tree of awareness grows downward, but the roots are in the brain. And you have to go to the roots now, because you have done that movement. Now you come back. And for that, you have to know to look after your brain. The other day, I also said that I don't know why you people don't put any oil whatsoever. Why not put oil in the head? Poor oil. Head needs the oil always. At least on a Saturday, put so much oil, rub it nicely, and have a bath. But people just don't put any oil in the head. I mean, you must oil, gear up your brain. Don't you think so? If you don't put oil in any machine, it will crack. For this brain, which is a special machine, after Sahaja Yoga, is really a very special one, you must try to put lot of oil in it. Put some oil in the ears. Put some oil in the nose. Now the modern theory of the doctors is, don't put any oil or anything into the ears and the noses of the children. Rajesh's brother had a child, and they went to, of course, to a latest doctor from America. And the child was crying, weeping, feeling so horrible. And his Brahmarandra, what you call the fontanelle bone area, was not filled at all. It was all open. I said, what's the matter with you people? They said, the doctor has said, don't touch the oil. I said, what? They said, he'll have allergy. I said, no, nothing of the kind. You bring the oil. I got one full katori of oil, rubbed it on his head, pushed back that thing, and I put it in nose and ears. The child slept like a log of wood. Imagine how much the child must have suffered. These stupid ideas come from where? I don't know. They don't have any oil these days, so what is their idea? Is to do some business must be behind it. I don't know what is business. I don't know what they are going to run by not giving any oil to the children. They must be having some business with that also. Otherwise it is absolutely a stupid idea. I just don't understand that the child has an allergy. But how presumptuous to think like that. Now, why the child has an allergy? Now let me ask a question. Why a child will have an allergy? The doctors have to answer. Or, of course, you are all doctors, so you should say. Can I have the answer?
Could be an imbalance of heat and cold in the body.
But why? Say on the chakras. You say on the chakras what will be catching. If somebody has allergies, what does it catch? Correct. Left navi. Left navi will catch. Now that means the mother. Because the child is not yet married, so is the mother. That means mother must be having a left navi herself. And that's why the child must be catching with that allergy. So instead of punishing the child, why not cure the left navi of the mother and left navi of the child? Now what will you do if there's a left navi of the child? What we can do to help the child to get rid of it? Very simple. Anything that is left can be taken out on the little flame. Put your right hand on the left navi of the child and put your left hand to the flame and finish. Now, in diagnosis you are easy. But now for medicines, now remember the certain principles of medicine. Very certain principles are there. If it is left side, you have to take it to the fire, or to the sun, or to the flames. Alright? If it is the left side, you have to take it to the water, in general. Anybody who is suffering from right side, put him in the water. Finished. Done. Not in the sun, of course. Any disease, you bring it to this point. It's very simple. Now let me have some questions about certain diseases.
They've been asking me for the last 3 weeks.
Huh?
They've been asking me for the last 3 weeks, so they must have the question.
All right, let's have it. I will see if I can answer. Yes.
Psoriasis,
Huh?
psoriasis.
Same thing. Psoriasis is nothing else but left side problem. It's a lethargic liver and gives you allergies. For psoriasis, left hand towards the photograph and right hand on the Mother Earth. Putting hot water bottle on the stomach. Or even giving bandhan to your liver with the light is all right. You must see, because psoriasis. Now people might think psoriasis means active liver or inactive liver. You see, it comes to that. But we have only two types, active or inactive. Now whether psoriasis is inactive or active, you will know from one point that when the liver is inactive, you get the allergy. And when it is active, you get other problems like, what you call that in English, I don't know, nausea, and also you get biliousness. You don't eat much, you thin down, all these problems are there. Now what else? For eczema, same thing. Eczema is the same. It's just like allergy. Eczema, same thing. But for eczema, because it's outward, you can use certain things like neem ka patta and all that I have told you. So many things can be used on top. Fungus outside or inside? Is one of the worst thing is fungus. Same thing. But it's the worst thing. I should say it's the left side. Again the attack is left side fungus. Is all dead. And you have to use the left side. There's a photograph and right hand on the places wherever you have the fungus. You may take it out that way. But don't eat cheese. And the fungusy cheese you are not supposed to eat at all. All the Sahajogis should not eat any fungusy cheese. That blue one with a crust one. All fungus must be avoided. And also mushrooms if possible.
What is milk said to fight allergies and eczema? Milk, cow's milk.
Why does cow's milk make allergies and eczema worse?
What is?
Why does cow's milk make allergies and eczema worse?
Cow's milk. Yes.
Because it's left side.
Left side. Cow's milk always give you the left side. Because she's the mother. And you should not have her milk because it's left side. Whether it is cow's milk or buffalo's milk, all will give you allergies. But if you have animals which are smaller than you, like if you can drink, like Mahatma Gandhi, the goat's milk, then you might not have the problem.
You better tell them, mother, because we always drink milk when we've got these things. It's the other way around. We go completely wrong. When we've got diarrhea, we drink milk. Silly business.
Diarrhea, you drink milk. The amount of salads you eat, sometimes I feel this fodder will make us like buffaloes or what? I just can't touch them, I tell you. But I have to eat just to show that I appreciate.
Bronchial asthma.
Bronchial asthma is caused by the combination of the right heart and the left heart. If the parents have been quarreling too much, if they are divorced, if you never had the security of the parents' love, then you get bronchial asthma. But if it is another one, just superficial one, then it could be from the father's death or from the fatherhood suffering. But if father and motherhood both have made you insecure, or if both of them have died, then you get bronchial asthma. It's a combination. Huh?
Hypoglycemia.
What's that?
Low blood sugar. Hypoglycemia.
I know. Low blood sugar. That comes from overactivity. You should not think so much. Agya. Too much of agya. Agya. Too much of agya. Surrender yourself to Christ. Absolutely surrender yourself to Christ. It will work out. What?
Spondyle.
Spondylitis is left Vishuddhi. And right Vishuddhi could be also. But mostly left Vishuddhi spondylitis. Combination also could be.
Multiple sclerosis.
Multiple sclerosis is comes from Muladhara. Muladhara and Navi. Left Navi and Muladhara. It's more left-sided. Give the treatment of the left side. Saying the name of Ganesha and of Gauri. It will work out.
Varicose vein.
Huh?
Varicose vein.
Varicose vein.
It comes from the people who stand too much all the time and they work very hard. As soon as it starts, it's better to cure them. You have to lie down every day. Those who stand every day for more than, say, 3-4 hours should lie down on bed and do cycling every day. That will help. Reduce the weight, maybe due to weight also. Some people have weight, but those who stand. I've seen those who stand for a long time without the heels. If you use the heels, you might be better off. With the heels, the pressure is not so much, then it is distributed more to the lower of those 5 chakras down below. That might help. But best is to do exercise. After you have stood for a long time, just lie down in the bed and do cycling. And also massaging. Slowly massaging it downward. Also it can work out with the ice treatment. You can put some ice before massaging. You can put the ice on them and use very cold oil and rub it. It will work out. That one thing is difficult. Flu. Now for flu, first of all, this is again left side. But we have got a very good medicine in India. I don't know if you have that. There is what you call is the basil. Basil leaves. You take lots of basil leaves, make a concoction or concoction.
Infusion.
Huh?
Infusion.
No.
Boil it up in a pot.
Boil it up in a pot. Make it absolutely, the essence, take it out. Quite thick. Put tea in it or water, just like the way you want to make it, like a tea. And put milk or whichever way you want, less milk. And sugar, because the taste may not be so good. And then you drink it. Before that, you have to prepare some, what you call for dhuni. You all know ajwain ka dhuni. You see, you know that. So you take ajwain ka dhuni after that. That's all. You do it 3 days, you'll be all right, cleared up. What?
Nervous breakdown and psychosomatic issues. Are they coming from the left side or from the right side?
What?
Well, he's giving 2 categories. He's saying psychosomatic diseases, which is all of them, and he's saying in particular, nervous breakdown. Psychosomatic diseases are all of them.
You see, it's a very funny word, psychosomatic. This is also psycho and also somatic. So I don't know which one it is. If you say psychosomatic or somatic psycho.
You mean psychological disease?
No. Psychosomatic is nervousness. You see, nervousness can be caused by bad habits. How? Like if you are an air hostess, you form a bad habit. As soon as you see the airport, it goes. Now those who travel too much, as soon as they have to travel, they go off their heads. Overdoing anything, you see, you get nervous. It's a matter of habit. You form that habit, so it happens. So I will not say it is due to some bada or anything, but your nerves are too much used in a particular way. Then they just give in. They cannot work it out anymore. So then you must change that habit. Supposing you are traveling too much by plane, then travel by a ship, or travel by a train, or by a bullock cart. Or don't travel. Something like that. Anything that you overdo too much, that forms a kind of a strain on your nerves. So try to reduce that strain on your nerves.
You recommended heels, what height?
No, I didn't say for all of you. I said for varicose veins, or especially for people who develop problems on the heels. There's no height. You just try whatever you can. Say about 1 inch will do, from 1 inch onward. Anything, not too much, 1 inch or lower. But you see, if you develop some sort of a bone on your heel or something like that, for that the heels are always better. Little heels are better. Baldness. It's not a disease, but it comes out of many habits. One of them is wearing the hat. If you wear the hat too tight, then the circulation of the brain is spoiled, and thus you might get one. Then also with the left nabi you might develop a back bald head here. If you have a left nabi, then there is no circulation. It works out that way. And we say that if somebody has a bald head, he will get some money. He's a moneyed man in India. I don't know why we believe in such a thing, but we believe that if you have a bald head means he's a moneyed man. You see, the one who does not have a bald head is not a moneyed man. Who doesn't have a belly is not a dignified man, according to Indian standards. But bald head is caused by not using oil or by not using proper oil. Oil should be used properly, and the skull must the skull must be rubbed, not the skin, so that if you rub it, the skin must move on the skull, and then you won't have this problem. Another is that if you use funny type of oils with lots of fragrance and essences in it, then you might get white, grey hair. And also ghee should never be used for rubbing in the head, but you can use it for the body, good ghee, or even the butter is good if you are overactive there, otherwise not. But ghee should never be used, or butter should never be used for the hair. Now you have two types of bald heads, as I told you. Some who start from here and some who start from there. It's a very interesting subject. And those who have both could be. Now I would say the one which starts from here are the people who are the ones who have got an Ekadasha problem also, possibly. With the Ekadasha problem it starts, or who are not very collective or something, it will start receding back. Alright. Those who start from here are the people who may not be good husbands, maybe something wrong with their wives, maybe bad wives. The husband-wife relationship is upset. Then also it starts at the back. Or maybe there's some incompatibility between the two, or too much attachment to the wife, or too much attachment to the husband also you start developing like that. All these things are left nabi. So the left nabi relationship, you know, is the Graha Lakshmi relationship, where you adore your wife so much that she is no more a Gralakshmi. Also is wrong. These things start with that. And also could be with your hectic life. If you are very hectic in your life, running up and down, doing too much work, also it may start. You don't listen to your wife about it, and you think you have to do this work, then also it might start. There are so many reasons for the left nabi to start. But the one that starts here starts with the right nabi, or we can say with the Ekadasha more on this one. So I don't know, in your case, Johan, what should I blame? I would say is a complete neglect of your hair. No oiling at all. That's what it is. I mean, if you do not give water to the plant, it will die. And then if you say, why is it caused? I mean, if you don't give water, is the one that it eats, drinks, and lives on. So oil is the one on which the hair is.